A plan is essential for
Update 172 open. So before I start, just want to say that talking into piece of plastic as though it's a group of people, knowing that it's eventually going to reach people, isn't a natural concept for me. So if I have a tendency to ramble or backtrack, I apologise in advance. I'm going to talk about the beta changes, but also some of the previous changes, like recent and not so recent, that kind of give me my current concerns in the direction that Overkill are taking the game in. For me personally, I kind of feel like Overkill is spending too much time listening to the wrong people. Lots of people on the forums that admittedly don't play the harder difficulties. Some of them don't even play Death Wish. Other people, surprising amount of people, that say that one down's easy, and then you check their profile and they've done like 5 one down heists, most of them stealthable, or, you know, the easiest heists. I can understand why Overkill might be getting confused when you've got people in the forums complaining that DMRs are OP, and then in the same breath complaining that Death Wish and one down cops are bullet sponges. It's going to be hard to balance a game around that kind of contradiction. I'll start with the fact that I'm not a fan of the DMR nerfs. I agree that maybe the ammo pickup might have been a bit excessive, but dropping them down to like 0 to 1 round per pickup is just a bit dumb, really. It's not self-sustainable when you start looking at 2 shots per normal cop, and then plus your specials you get in the higher difficulty heists. And then, especially when they run that in tandem with buffing LMGs to godly proportions and completely leaving auto shotguns alone, it just doesn't make sense. It seems like they're penalising people that like aiming in favour of people just running around, holding down the left mouse button, killing everything in their path. Again, running that in tandem with the henchman update they did a while back, with the buffs that they get, give them skills that you can't spec yourself as a player, that their team-based skills, faster interactions, blah 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 blah. They're kind of making the higher difficulties accessible to even the most average players, which is why really listening to the majority of the people in the forums kind of it's a bad move because of that, really. Which then leads me on to Graze as the new skill tree perk. Perk in the skill. Happy to say that Graze isn't quite as OP as I thought it was going to be from the previews they released before the beta. When I first saw that, I'll put an overlay on the video. It just looked like some crazy death ray. Just hit one headshot, hit 20 cops. It looked ridiculous. And with what I've said about the whole spray and pray aspect of the godly LMGs and the auto shotguns, it just seemed like they were just sending snipers off in such a bad direction. Snipers should be the sharpshooters, like if you miss your shot, you miss your shot. You shouldn't hit another shot, hit one headshot and damage all of the cops around them. Like, for me it would be acceptable if the cylinder was a lot smaller, so if you had sort of maybe 3 cops lined up and you just missed the timing for headshotting all 3 cops, so you know they're sort of just a little bit spaced apart, then maybe you get the headshots. That would have been, you know, acceptable, but the size of that tube is just a tube of death, you know, it's ridiculous. However, saying that it's not as OP as I thought, it is still pretty OP. Like, you'll see at the end of this heist, Poker HUD picks up 200 kills, and the game picks up 241 kills. I'm guessing that 41 has got to be Graze, which is basically 20.5% of my kills are via Graze. And I mean, it is going to be heist specific because, you know, you got the corridors on this, on Big Bank. Whereas, you know, if you put it up against something like Goat Sim or, you know, any open map, you're not going to have that many cops all in one sort of line. So it is very heist specific, but it's still unnecessary. I don't think snipers needed it. A lot of people played with snipers. Like, what makes me laugh is that they remove specialized killing because it's meta, it's too meta, everyone uses it, and then now they're saying, like in their own words, that snipers are struggling to find their place in the meta. You know, you're killing metas, starting new ones, and I don't understand really that kind of direction. I did try it with the Thanatos, with Graze, but you know, it was bugged with the 45-degree sight at the time, so I didn't actually get a chance to try it out. But honestly, I think if you got that much damage going down one corridor, it'd just be utterly ridiculous. Like, yeah, completely overpowered. In my opinion, it probably would have been better if you wanted to bring snipers more into the game on the higher difficulties, then just buff the ammo pickup rate or the rate of fire on some of them. Don't make this tube of death that just kills everything in its path. I mean, in all fairness, it doesn't kill everything in its path. Like, what I've found Graze to be most useful for is suppressing the swarm. So if you get one headshot, you might kill another, or you might damage a few, but a lot of them jump out the way and they stop shooting at you. They get suppressed. So it's nice for sort of saving time like that. Like the extra deaths are just a bit of a bonus on top, really. I mean, I don't know, in my opinion, instead of all these changes that they're making, they should be addressing, you know, broken game issues first. Like, cops like meleeing, shooting and running through walls, cops teleporting. You know, there's been countless amounts of times, like, I've turned around 180 and then I get shot in the back, and I turn around and there's a cop right behind me. I'm just like, did he just run from somewhere? Or, you know, I'm sure a lot of the time he did just quickly run out, but yeah, it's nice to actually get some video proof of teleporting cops, just to put my mind at ease that, you know, quite often a cop would just suddenly be there. You couldn't have possibly done anything about it. Like, yeah, they could have fixed things like frame drops on really badly optimized heists. You know, obviously the most obvious one would be the diamond heist, where it's ludicrous that it's so badly optimized when it's a classic map. I think they wanted to pretty it up so much, you know, hype it up, that it just doesn't run well. Like, the frame drops are insane. And I mean, half of the problem with the frame drops previous or in the live version is that with those frame drops come, you know, bad, like, irresponsive cops, which they've band-aided with the addition of full speed swarm basically. But it still doesn't mean, you know, there's still a lot of heists that need optimization and have done for a long ass time. You know, things like the crashes on Safe House, currently no idea why, but you know, we don't even play Safe House Raid anymore because one or all of us will just crash out. You know, and that heist's been out for ages now, there should be no reason for that. And one of my biggest bugbears with the game is just medics, the medic mechanic. The fact that they can heal 3 floors, you know, like, people used to say that DMR ammo pickup was overpowered, like it was too much. But, you know, if you play one down, you pump 10 rounds into a dozer faceplates, find out that there's a medic a floor above you couldn't have possibly known about. That's 10 rounds wasted, plus the extra rounds you've got to use to finally kill him, get around him, get upstairs, kill the medic. You know, you still had to watch your ammo. If you didn't hit heads, you know, you would run out of ammo. It wasn't, you know, probably on Overkill, it was OP. But, you know, everything's OP on Overkill. There's not one weapon that is not more than viable, if not overpowered, on Overkill. Even Death Wish to some degree. With regards to adding new skills, like revamping the skill system, I don't know, I don't think you need to try and buff snipers for a new skill thing. They should, you know, you should be looking at existing skills and how they can be improved. For example, drill skills, you know, wasting, what is it, 9 points for, you know, like pure RNG chance of absolutely nothing. You know, drill skills should be more of a basic, should be a drill will automatically restart once and then aced 3 times, and then that way, you know, you've got to be fairly tactical about how you use those auto restarts. You can run away and leave the drill, you can do something, but you know that drill's restarted once, you need to get back, make sure that you've got spares or whatever. Not just here's 9 points, you know, half the time or less, it's not even going to work, it's just going to be utterly wasted points. Just really dumb. And I don't know, Frenzy Basic, there's just no point in Frenzy Basic. Why would you take it when you can just take a judge and self-harm? You know, everyone knows self-harming isn't cool. But for some reason, it's pretty much meta, you know, like, there's literally no reason to spend the points on Frenzy Basic when you can just do it yourself. Moving on to specialised killing being removed, I think in the direction the beta's taken it, it makes very little difference. You know, like with the buffs that assault rifles and stuff are getting, you know, a buffed assault rifle now is the equivalent of a suppressed with specialised killing assault rifle in the light version. There's no difference. The only exception might be the auto shotguns, but honestly I don't play with them, so I haven't even tried them out. But usually they rely more on crits anyway, so I can't really see that being a deal breaker as far as the auto shotgun is concerned. Going on to the new 1 down, 3 downs, 1 down, 1 down with 3 downs thing. I think the main issue for me is that, again, they've just listened to the wrong people. They've listened to people that don't play 1 down because of this, because of that, instead of listening to people that have extensively played 1 down and can tell you the problems with 1 down. You know, like, nerfing the cop health does nothing. Like, it was, yeah, you can use more weapons against them, but you could always use pretty much every weapon in the game, even 40 damage weapons. You know, you could take a 40 damage pistol and crits would kill. You know, whether you like crits or not, whether you like Berserker or not, whether you think they're completely broken or they shouldn't be in the game, that's a completely different conversation. As far as I know, there's no talk of ever getting rid of them, so it's it's a non-issue. The fact is, every weapon pretty much was viable if you took the right skills and knew how to use them. It didn't have to be crits, it could be berserker, it could be with the addition of specialized killing. The problem with one down has always been the damage that comes out of it. You just get too spanked, and the fact that there's no bullet fall off across the map, across any distance, so you just get spanked from anywhere across the map, from places you couldn't have even possibly known about, and you're down, like, you can't, apart from really camping and then really manipulating the fades, like, you can't defend against that. There's nothing you can do. You might see one cop and he might one-hit you, but then there's another cop somewhere you can possibly see will put you down or put you into swan. And that was the unfair thing about one down. Like, yeah, there's god perk decks, and there's perk decks you would never use on one down. But as for skills, like skills and weapons, they were never an issue. Like, the issue is the amount of damage you take from cops.
Good luck.
I think
The thermite's done. Now
that
jump in and
that
get
combined
cash.
with the new full speed, I'm calling it full speed swarm edition. I'm presuming they just took the code and added it in, and if that's what they did, I really hope that they give the mod creators some, can't even think of the words, give him props, because from what I hear, like, mutators came from Goon mod and there was no thank you there. It might be more extensive than that, they might have done their own thing, but anyway, that's not the point. With the addition of full speed swarm and the cop damage, and now with the ridiculous health the dozers have, again, they're just enforcing Swansong abuse. Like, they nerfed the time of Swansong from 9 seconds to 6, when that was never the issue. Again, like, the issue was that people had with Swansong was the infinite ammo. You could abuse Swansong to the point where, well, I might as well just go down now. I've got someone else that can get me up and I can kill this swarm easily. I've got 9 seconds of pa 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 pa, and job done. Like, in my opinion, they should have left it at 9 seconds, and they should have made it, so that you can't shoot. I think they should have kept interactions, but, not shooting. Like, got rid of shooting mechanic entirely in Swansong, so Swansong was literally just a means to finish your interactions or to get to cover so that your team can safely get you up. But yeah, just nerfing 3 seconds off the time, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't fix anything, doesn't fix any complaints. It's just a really cheap fix, in quote. My first impressions of the new full speed swarm edition is it needs work. Like, you can't just, it was always fun to chuck on full speed swarm and just go ham, like shoot the shit out of some cops and have some fun, but not in every heist. Sometimes you just want to do a heist, you want to do objectives, you want to play with a team. And now, the swarms in 4-player anyway. Solo it seems fairly manageable, but if you're playing as a 4-player team, like, the swarms are just insane, and plus their ridiculous output of damage. It's just a Swansong fest. Like, I know I play with one guy in particular who just doesn't like to use Swansong, and even he's using Swansong, he's just got no choice. Like, yeah, it needs work. Like there needs to be some pause. Like it can't. I mean the fades seem broken. I'll go on to that a bit later. But with the sort of excessive swarms and like the broken fades, there's literally no time to do interactions, which again is just gonna enforce people abusing the swan. And you know, I mean the swan generally isn't long enough to even fix a drill anymore, so most of it is just pointless. They're not fixing people's issues, they're just band-aiding certain things with bad band-aids. The fades, as I was saying about the fades being broken, you'll see in this heist, and I honestly can't figure it out. Like I can't figure out what decides now in this beta, what decides whether a fade ends or doesn't. At least before, if you wanted to camp and then fade, like do your stuff on the fades were consistent. Like you knew as soon as a fade started, then you had X amount of time or X amount of cops left on the map before the fade will end, and you can do all the things you need to do, get back to your spot, and shoot the next wave. Like, but now, I mean, in this heist, I've written them down. Like, the first fade was 12 seconds with 29 cops left on the map. The second fade was 1 minute 43 seconds with 23 cops left on the map. The third fade was 32 seconds with 38 cops left on the map. The fourth fade was 1 minute 42 seconds with 15 cops on the map. And the last fade was 4 minutes and 11 seconds with 16 cops on the map. And basically the last fade being, I don't know, it was even longer than normal, I think 4 minutes, but being more like a normal fade was probably the only reason I actually managed to finish this heist. Like I had a lot of fails because there was just no fade. Like you know, I'd come in and I'd try and do the keys on the vaults, and it was just already the fade would end, the assault would start, job done, I was screwed. Like, you know, I'm trapped inside a vault and a swarm comes in, like nothing I can do about it. And on top of that, like some of the cops just didn't seem to properly leave at the end of a fade, so the fade would end, there'd still be cops milling about, and then the assault would start. So even then you didn't have time to do the interactions because you're just picking off the odd roaming cop that should have left at the end of the fade, or should at least be on his way out at the end of the fade. You'd have seen a minigun dozer just then. My opinion on the new dozers, like the minigun dozer, he's pretty much a non-issue. Like the dude's so slow. He doesn't even, I don't even know if he follows you around. He just seems to wander around like aimlessly around the map. But yeah, he's so crazy slow. Like he's never going to be an issue. But the medic dozers, I mean, dudes. You know, I've already said what I think about the medics. Like, I don't like the medic mechanic. I don't like the fact that they can heal through anywhere. And then you've got two, you know, you can have up to 2 medic dozers spawn side by side, or a medic dozer with 2 other dozers, and then a medic outside or upstairs or downstairs. Like, yeah, I'm not a fan of the whole medic mechanic anyway. I think if you're gonna have medic dozers, then you should never have 2 spawn side by side, or at least have it within the mechanic that medics or medic dozers can't heal medic dozers. It's just, you get 2 medic dozers side by side, or you know, a dozer and a medic dozer with a medic behind or somewhere you can't get to. You're screwed. There's no you know, there's no way around that. There's nothing you can do. As a solo player, you're dead. As a team player, you're in Swan. there should be at least some sort of defensible strategy against that kind of thing. It just seems like a bit of a shit show. Like, you know, it's fun to a degree, in the same way that putting on full speed swarm with aggressive and nervous cops was fun, but that was always an option. Like, as part of full speed swarm, that should always have been in the game. That, you know, full speed swarm fixed cops camping at their spawn points, which is why you had 90 cops on the map in panic room, but only 40 running around. You know, things like that should have always been in the game, but now to have every cop on the map just relentlessly track you everywhere at all times with broken fades, it's no fun. Like, it leaves you no time to do what actually needs to be done. Well, you know, it is fun to the degree when you want to just shoot the shit and go ham on some cops. It's fun in that aspect, but to actually get shit done and, you know, play the heist as you should be able to play and complete the heist, it's just a bit bullshit, really. A lot more work needs to go into it, I think, like I said earlier, if they want to keep this kind of relentless cop tracking thing. Then there at least needs to be some sort of pause, you know, for you to do the shit that you need to do. Otherwise, again, like I said before, they're just making it like a swan song abuse all round. It's just ridiculous. I think that's basically everything I wanted to say, really. Like, it does concern me the direction the game's going in. I do think they're listening to the wrong people a bit too much. Like, you know, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I'm not saying that people that play Overkill shouldn't have an opinion, but it's more that they're not taking on the opinions of people that do actively play the high difficulties as well. Like, they're just listening to the complaints of people that don't and why they don't, as opposed to the people that do and know the issues like the back of their hands, you know. Yeah, as far as the actual one down mechanic is concerned, I think it's a bit of a shame. I do think that's what kept it apart from the other difficulties. I don't think for me it's nothing major. I just think it's a bit of a weird move. Can't really, I don't hate it, but I think it's just a bit silly. You know, to make it a mutator is dumb. Like, you know, same as everyone's been saying. Like, when did you last see a mutator lobby, or when did you last make a mutator lobby? When did you even last use any mutator? I think the only time I ever used a mutator was when they first got released, and it was alright for like 10 minutes of shits and giggles, but after that, you know, it's just a forgotten thing. It might as well just be deleted from the game. No one uses it. It's just taking up space. You know, to make the one down mechanic a mutator, I don't know. It seems like a really dumb move. But yeah, anyway, I think that's basically everything I wanted to say. Sorry if I just rambled on and on and on. I got monotonous or whatever. But that's my 2 cents. As far as whether I think it will go anywhere, like, obviously I don't think my opinion matters that much, and going by the post Overkill made, I think it was today, about playing with moderators, I'll put it up on the screen. I don't think they're going to listen to any bad feedback. I think they basically made their minds up about the direction of the game, and we just got to put up and shut up. Yeah, and I guess I'll finish off by saying that I hate being one of those people that are just putting down overkill, because I have just defended overkill the whole time. Like, you can read my review on Steam. You know, Overkill have always been ethically one of the best game companies that I've had experience with personally. Like, I know people have issues with the microtransaction shit that went on a long time ago, but it's very rare you'll find like game devs that constantly update their game, you know, and if they break anything in the game, then you'll get a hotfix like the same day, if not the next. But honestly, with these recent changes, you know, I have to make a vote of no confidence. You'll see right now that even the safes agree with me that it's just all a bit rubbish. Anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble on, watching the game. Hope you enjoyed it. Build right now. Play nice, be good. See you next time.